Good morning and welcome to another episode of Craft Here and Now. Today I'm really going out on a limb talking about some of my art supplies and brushes because really, honestly, I'm not an artist. I just like to do this when I have some free time and I want to throw some paint around on a piece of paper. I just do not have the time that I would like to devote to practicing art. But it is fun. I enjoy it as a hobby. So today I just want to share some of the beautiful paints that I've gotten over the years and some of the brushes as well. Now, the very first paint box set that I had, I got this when I was in the Netherlands. I was 10 years old and I was visiting my cousin. So this is how I got started with watercolor. But of course, back then I didn't really do much of it at all. Was busy with other things. But this is a cute little box. It was made in England. So I picked that up in Holland. I have some core paints, which come in tubes. And then what I do is I buy these nice little containers and I put them together in the little boxes. And then I make a swatch with the different colors. And these are absolutely beautiful paints. They are very intense in color and they work up very well. Very nice paints. I have this set of Winsor & Newton, which is considered the student quality. And with my limited knowledge of art, I really didn't notice any difference between these paints and other paints that I have. I thought that these were very nice paints. Actually, I was quite pleased with these paints. But they are considered student quality, so I don't know. Maybe they have a different quality paint that's a little bit better. Let's see, I have the Inktense blocks by Derwent, and these are very nice. They can be used with or without water. They're very vibrant and they hold up well. It's very nice ink to work with. Then I have this box of a Holbein Artist Gouache, and it's actually a sampler box, and honestly I have never used it. I believe it's similar to watercolor, but it's more opaque, and I'll use it one day, but I'm really not sure what type of watercolor paper to use with this or what type of brush, but it looks like it's a very nice sampler set. Then I have these tropical paints, which I really like these colors. They're very vibrant, bright, yeah. And I actually used these in one of my episodes when I did ASMR, neurographic art. But however, it is not it is not ASMR. It is neurographic art, but I should have titled it differently because I was told that it is not ASMR. I did not have any video, audio. I didn't have any audio in that video. I just had some noises in the background and I just happened to call it ASMR, but maybe I'll change that title. But if you want to see that, I'm not sure the number of the episode, but it's one of the ones that I had done earlier. This one is a set that I made up myself. You can buy these little boxes. Actually, I think some of these are permanent, and the ones in the center I added. And for this, I used some of the paints that I acquired. And I have several different brands here. I really like the this one? Okay, Danielle Smith. I like that one. I really like the M. Graham. That's a beautiful paint. Then I have here, oh, Mission. Mission is an interesting paint. I haven't used that too often, but it's a nice paint to work with. I have some other ones as well in here, but those are some of my favorites. And then I just pick and choose which colors I would like and set up the box that way. But I do like the kits that, like these kits. I like when all the paints are put together for you. It's so much easier. And a lot of these colors go really well together. So it's easier than making up your own combination. And this is Schminke. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Hard Aquarelle. And these are beautiful paints. They're rather expensive, but they are very nice paints. And let's see, I have the primary colors, and I have some burnt umber, Van Dyke brown. I'm not sure what this one is. Another brown. So, but that's all I really needed to get started, the primary colors. And then, let's see, this one, Watercolor Dark Pigments Earth Tones. This was a Altoids box, and I just used that with some of those little boxes and put in some of the colors that I wanted, some golds and browns, umber, raw sienna, stuff like that. Red iron oxide, and a gray, Payne's gray, quinacridone gold. So sometimes I just like to work with certain shades. And then this was a beautiful box, but I haven't done anything with it yet. So we can add a lot more to this box. Make it up one day. And then I have all these brushes. I actually have a lot of other brushes as well. These are some of the brushes that I have. And this is for a pencil set that I have. I like these pencils. They work very well. They're graphite. And when I use these, I sometimes use this, I forget the name of it, Tortillon, I think. I think that's what that is. So these are very good pencils. These are okay brushes for the most part. This is a very good set. This one here. This is an excellent set. I think this is Sable, and it has the different numbers on the brushes to indicate the size. But the only thing about these, they're very long-handled brushes, and I don't really know that much about art, but I don't know why the handles are so long. For me, it seems like to use this type of a brush is very awkward. So I prefer the shorter handles. I've never had any art classes other than general, in school. But I've never had any workshops or education in art, nothing. So I have limited knowledge, and I'm only sharing with you what I've done because it's a hobby, one of the hobbies that I have. I have many hobbies, but I enjoy art. I think artists are amazing, and I just admire them. I like the work that they do, and every now and then I try to do something myself. So this is just a Canson mixed media book. I just picked this one out at random. I'm not even sure what's inside. I have several of these that I've done over the years, and I just paint the cover. But it's 98-pound paper, mixed media, so it's not your typical watercolor paper. I believe that for watercolor you should have at least 140 pounds or more. So I'll share with you some of the strange art that I've tried to do over the years. And as I said, I'm not an artist, so please don't expect much. And I call all of my art MOEA, Museum of Experimental Art, because everything I do, all of my hobbies are experimental. Not just art, but knitting, crocheting, everything. It's just all experimental. I'm not skilled at any one particular thing, so I like to try different things. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5 size. Now, this was my attempt at a portrait. And as I can see, this is an older book. This was from May 2018 to April 2022. So this was a while ago. And I can see this is really incorrect because, well, I now know that if you're doing a portrait, the head, you look at the head and eyes are somewhere in the middle. Then you have the eyes, they're supposed to be evenly spaced apart. And the lips are supposed to go into this, out to the center of the eyeball. And the ears are supposed to go somewhere between the eyebrow and the lips, the mouth. So these are too tiny. But that was my attempt at doing a portrait. And here I have Derwent, the Intense blocks I tried. This is, I don't have it in front of me, but this is General's charcoal. And I really like working with General's charcoal. They have rust, they have black, and some, I think, some other colors as well. The only problem with working with charcoal, it tends to smudge. So you have to be careful working with that. And here's another one I tried with the same General's charcoal. Now the thing about portraits for me, if I do a portrait of a woman, it tends to look like a man. And if I do a portrait of a man, it tends to look like a cartoon. So it's very difficult for me to get a human being to look realistic. And I don't even attempt animals. I don't think I could even do that. I have done some birds, but I don't think I'd attempt to do a cat or a dog or anything detailed. This was pencil. I probably used one of these when I did that. Wheel. This is a bird. And for this one, I used watercolor and rapidograph. And I have a beautiful rapidograph set. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a very nice set where you put the ink into the pens. And they're all different sizes, so it's a very nice quality set. It's a flower. This is a study in pencil with these, again, I used for this. Another portrait I tried to do. And sometimes I look online at these wonderful artists, and I really do try to take some notes. And here I made a grid of the facial proportions. But then when I go to try to do it, it never comes out as well as I expect it. I mean, these artists are very experienced, and I'm sure they've done this for years since they were children. But for me, it's just a hobby. So I like to see what other people are doing. It's interesting. This is soft charcoal pencil. This one was done, I think, yeah, that's charcoal as well, or maybe pastel. This was from the cover of a book by Andrew Vox. Not sure how to pronounce that, but he has a whole series of books. An interesting genre if you're into that type of reading. This one was called Hard Candy, and I took that picture from the cover of this book. This is another portrait. This is another General's pastel over watercolor. This one, I think that's just watercolor, I'm not sure. Another sketch. This was a perspective drawing. Practice. Some flowers. This one, I can see the center is too big and the petals are too small. So in art, my proportions are way off base, but it takes a lot of practice. This is one of the birds. It's a seabird. And this one, I'm not sure if I use just an ink pen or repeatograph. I think it's an ink pen. It says ink, daylily. It's a maple leaf, graphite, watercolor over graphite. And some flowers. I was in Daytona Beach one day. Made some sketches. Portrait. Again. Now this is Zentangle. This is interesting. I'm not really fond of Zentangle. However, I did do, I wouldn't call it a workshop. It was just Zentangle, a few different Zentangles on different days, and it was all put together. So I would like to share that with you at a later date, because I was very impressed with the way this woman had put this whole Zentangle process together, and I really liked the outcome of it. So that was the only piece I've ever done that I really liked. But as I said, I'm not terribly fond of Zentangle. Okay, some artists suggest you do a 1-minute sketch, so I tried it, and that's what I came up with. 1-minute sketch. Pencil. More doodles. Okay, this was supposed to be a profile, a 3/4 profile. That is just a whole different ball game. Profiles are so different from face-on portraits. It's a whole different set of dimensions. This one, I remember doing that. Yeah, that took a long time. It's pen and ink. I spent, I think, the better part of a morning doing that one. Jelly gouache. I don't remember having a jelly gouache paint set, so if I must have given it away, because obviously it doesn't look like something I would enjoy working with. Obviously I did, because I wrote it down. And sometimes I like to just throw some paint on a piece of paper, and see what comes out. And a lot of times I find some unusual things. Like, for instance, in this one, I see a face. So I see an eye and a nose and a mouth and a chin, and then it goes up to the side of the face, and that could be an ear, I suppose. So that's an interesting way to practice art. Just throw some paint on a page, see what you come up with. Okay, this is my brother-in-law passed away, and before he did, he had given us a beautiful little clown, and I made a copy of that clown, and that's how it came out. Some blueberries, some willows. Oh, there he is. That's Rob. And this is somebody else. Carolina laurel. Leaf. This this is colored pencil. This was from one of those dot painting sets that I saw online. And I thought this was so unusual that I wanted to make a copy of it. This is First Attempt with Jelly Gouache by Art X. I don't remember that kit. So, it looks very opaque. This one is a hummingbird. We have a lot of hummingbirds here in the morning. Oh, another one of those faces. I said, sometimes I just want to throw some paint around. It doesn't have to be extraordinary to have a little fun. And this was an attempt at a Christmas card I saw online. I try to make Christmas cards every year, homemade. People really enjoy those. Some ornaments. Another sketch. This is, it looks like colored pencil. Yeah, or sometimes I do watercolor and then I do colored pencil over the watercolor. Yeah, that's what I did here too. Watercolor and then colored pencil over it. This was supposed to be a profile. Very impossible. Yeah, well, it's very, very difficult to do. Now, mandala. I find that to make a mandala look very attractive, you have to be extremely precise. And I really don't like precision, so mandalas don't work for me. But I did try it. It's a sketch of an eye, and then I have here a moth. And this is the type of watercolor that I love, where just put the water down and then the colors on top of it, and it just flows and it disperses and it just kind of all mixes together. I find that to be the most attractive type of watercolor. I like that far more than precision watercolor. Okay, this sketch I never filled in. And this is when I started doing neurographic art. I really like that because it's free-spirited, and as I said earlier, I do have an episode in which I did the ASMR neurographic art. So if you want to check that out, it's not this one, it's a different one totally. It's the way I do it now, it's a little different. So I really like neurographic art because it's just different. You can fill it in any way you want with paint or ink or watercolor, colored pencils, pastel, anything. And sometimes it just goes on and on and on. So and there are some amazing neurographic artists out there. If you have time, check them out because they make it look so easy, but it well, a good artist will make their work look easy, that's for sure. Okay, this is a sailboat. I think that's a bird. Some bamboo. Okay, this is an example of one of the Christmas cards I made. Some ornaments. This is a globe. Actually, the tree is supposed to be inside the globe. One of those globes that you shake and then the white snow flies all over the place. Yeah, so that's supposed to be inside the globe. Oh, here. Okay, so this one is a tree inside the globe, but it does not look like a tree. So, but it's the same concept. Flowers, and don't worry, we're coming to the end. Won't suffer you through this much longer. This one I did a few years ago. I remember this. I really liked the way, I don't know if it was in a magazine or where I saw this, but I really liked the woman's face. I thought she had an interesting look. So I tried to do this, I think it's pastel, pastel or chalk. But the hat was supposed to come down further. It was supposed to rest on her eyelid and the top of her ear, but I was not able to accomplish that, so I just left it the way it is. And I think that's it. And banana zucchini recipe. I made that for a Christmas party one year. And I have a bird and what's this? Oh, two portraits that were supposed to be profiles that I practiced that don't really look like profiles. So, okay, that's it. All right. Well, I have to tell you that I really appreciate that you take the time to watch my videos. It means an awful lot to me. And if I have shown you anything of interest that you can try or that has been helpful, that would be wonderful, because that's the whole point of all these videos, to share with you what I have acquired over the years and just share some of what I've attempted to do. Yeah, so thank you again for watching and have a blessed day.